So Sophie Pender, the founder of the 93% Club. Thank you very much for joining me today. How would you describe the 93% Club?
The basic principle is that in life, it's very often, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I strongly believe that state educated students have so much talent and so much potential, but unfortunately we are not as well connected and as well networked as private schools are, which means that when it comes to looking for jobs or looking for career opportunities, we are often at a disadvantage because we just don't have the access to the resources. So we have 52 student clubs across the country at universities, and the things that they do at those universities really varies depending on the needs of the students. So for example, our club at Oxford and Cambridge, they're very social clubs because the problems at Oxford and Cambridge are that the students don't feel like they belong. Or at Edinburgh, for example, there's a sort of an issue around accentism and classism. And then you have some universities like Lancaster, for example, who do a lot of careers-based things because the students who go there have these big aspirations to achieve amazing things, but employers just don't go there. They don't see those students as worthwhile visiting. And so actually the 93% Club is super simple as a concept. It is just looking at all of the best things that I think, in my view, private education has cracked and taking those principles and giving them back to the 93% for free.
Yeah, but it sounds like listening to this, that all an amazing thing actually, for all 52 are run differently for the needs of the students in that university. That's pretty remarkable, given that it's very difficult to do that. Most things are pretty cookie cutter because it's difficult enough to build one thing in one way. To build it 52 different ways at the same time is pretty challenging.
But yeah, it's a very unique model, which makes it very hard to comms it.
Yeah.
I think from a very early age, nothing came to me easily. Like, it always required about 150% effort, and I was relentless, and I didn't accept that things had to be the way they were just because that was the cards that I was dealt. And so I think that's something that I've carried with me throughout my life, even into adulthood, into my career. When someone shows me something that seems impossible, I just think, well, why not give it a go? So I think relentless is like the right word.
And is that you? And this is achieving things for yourself, or is it proving things to someone else, or why do you do that?
Yeah, God, it's like therapy. I think there's a mix of things. I think there's an element of having to do it for myself, having to be very independent. I'm an only child, come from a single parent family, and always had to support my mum as much as myself. And so I think actually a big driving force was always thinking about supporting myself and my family. But I also think there is always that feeling of, I actually remember being in school and the Rotary Club came in to do sort of some charitable work. And they said, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, I want to be a lawyer. And they said, well, that's great, but the law is a very saturated field. So do you have a plan B? And I was like, well, I don't need a plan B because I've got a plan A. And it was always that feeling, one of my friend's parents when I was younger said I'd be pregnant by age 15. And there were all these things that people just underestimated me constantly in my life for a number of different reasons. And I think a lot of it was a practical relentlessness for myself and my mum, but also kind of this stubbornness that I wouldn't let people's opinions of me dictate my life.